So, a question I get to ask myself is, what would a good life for me be like? I'm in a pretty good place in my life relative to the last decade or 2 decades. Actually, relative to my entire life, I'm in a pretty good place. I have money, I have time, I have an audience, something I always wanted. People take me seriously, people listen to what I say, people respect and admire me, and I have cool friends that I respect and admire, and I'm comfortable speaking on camera. I used to not be. I'm a good writer. I'm glad about that. There's some things that slightly bother me. I'm not as fit as I would like to be. I'd like to change that. I'm not as well rested as I'd like to be. I'd like to change that. I'm not as wealthy as I would like to be, and I'd like to change that. And the best way for me to make money is to help people in the ways that I am skilled at helping, in a way that is, has market value. And in all of the things that I can do, marketing consulting is the best way I can create value for other people that makes them money, that makes it sensible for them to pay me money, right? So currently I charge $500 for a 60 to 90 minute consult. It's usually 90 minutes, but it's just whatever feels natural for the cadence of the conversation. It might drag on a little bit more, it might be end a little bit soon, but whatever feels right. And what I do is I invite people to text with me back and forth, and I ask them, what are you working on? What are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What are you trying to build? What are you trying to grow into? What is your identity? What is your positioning? What's the project that you're working on? What do you want to be working on? How do you want to be perceived? How do you want people to speak about you? Who do you want to be introduced to for your next clients or your next employees or your next investors or your next, just who do you want to be working with? One of my favorite, a friend of mine who I haven't formally worked with as like a consultant-client relationship, but I've helped him out. His name is Sam Martin. He runs this thing, I've already talked about this, right? He runs this thing called Move Better Project, where he's like a physiotherapist, I think. I don't know if that's the right phrase to use, but he's very good at helping people with their musculoskeletal issues. So if you've got like back pain, shoulder pain, any of those pains, hit him up and he will help you out. Like, he's just very, very good at helping people resolve those pains. And he's helped like dozens and dozens of my friends on Twitter fix their shit. And if I can help Sam grow his audience and help him reach a larger audience and help more people, that's my way of helping people with their back pain, And so I think he does some paid consults as well, and he helps some people for free if he can just share with them like the video or whatever that helps. If they have a more complex problem, they might need like one-to-one consultation where he does a video with them or something. And the more people I can send Sam's way, it's like we all win. Do you see how that works? It's like he gets more clients, the clients have back pain or whatever, and he helps them fix it, and he pays me a little bit, like just one-off sum. I don't. Some people be like, oh, you should take a recurring. I can't stand recurring payment type stuff, even though I know that it's like the best way to make a lot of money in the long run. But it just skeeves me, and I don't like these subscription kind of deals. I'd rather help people one shot, and the thing I've been figuring out is I don't want like a weekly or a monthly engagement with people where we are constantly talking. I mean, I could pull it off, but I think what's really nice is we do these well, for a while I was thinking if I have a client, once and done is perfect, right? And now I'm thinking maybe there's a chance that we get to some insights and we solutions and ideas in the call, and then they might not subsequently implement it. So I think it makes sense to consider soft scheduling a call like 6 months from now or 9 months from now as a kind of commitment device, right? As to remind yourself that you want to follow up on the things that you say you want to follow up on. And so what I found is that while I frame my work as marketing, consulting, positioning, branding, the real work is usually that people are not emotionally / psychologically ready for the next stage of their journey, and nobody is, right? Like, everyone is where they're at and everyone wants to do something. Or when I say everyone, I mean everyone in my sphere, right? And so everyone in my sphere, they want to do more, be more, be more ambitious, be more powerful, so they can do more good in the world for themselves, for their families, whatever. And it's always it's always scary in some ways because you haven't done it yet. Like now I have almost 4,000 subscribers. Would I like 40,000 subscribers? Of course. But do I know what it's going to be like to deal with 40,000 subscribers? Well, I can kind of infer it from having 40,000 Twitter followers, but like there's something scary about that, about growing. There's always something scary about growth and healing and change. Right? All these things are scary. And so, I'm kind of a threshold, not a guardian, the guy who crosses you across the threshold. What's his name? The guy in the boatman in the river Styx. I'm not getting the name. Jesus. Sharon. I'm kind of a ferryman, boatman. Right? I'm gonna bring you across the threshold. And like my tattoo of a labyrinth I got it after writing my book Introspect. And the point is that a labyrinth is a pilgrimage. It's a motif that represents an inward journey, a pilgrimage into yourself, inwards, figuring yourself out, hero's journey stuff, reintegrating, learning, growing. And I think I'm pretty good at helping people with these things. I do it casually in conversations, and when people are serious and they want to really go deep and they want, like if I'm having a casual conversation with a friend, I won't like grill them about it. I'll be like, oh, how are you feeling? Oh, that sounds good. Okay, cool, whatever. But like if a person is like, I'm serious about this and I want to engage your services, I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna be kind of like more firm with you. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna like, hey, this isn't really working. What do you think about this? And I'm gonna really rigorously examine it. I'm still kind. I'm not like an asshole about, because anything anybody makes is precious, and I try to be supportive and encouraging. But that's what I do with my clients. I've had like over a dozen clients at this point, I think, and like it's all gone well. I'm always worried that my next client is gonna be someone who isn't ready, right? And I try to preempt that in the conversation, because I do worry that some people might be, if you have money to spend, right, and you're not very serious about your work, but you kind of want reassurance, and you basically pay a consultant or a coach to say reassuring things to make you feel better about yourself. And I don't want to do that. I don't want your money if that's who you are. And I don't mean, no disrespect, it's just that my craft is I want to be helping people grow, and reassurance is a part of that, but it cannot be the whole thing. I cannot just be reassuring you and giving you words of comfort, because that deviates from my vision, which is to challenge people to grow and do better work in the world and help more people, or help people better, or help just scale their ambitions, right? And so I'm quite rigorous about turning down clients that I don't feel are a good fit. I might refer them to someone else. Maybe they need therapy, maybe they need a different kind of coaching, and if I know someone else who can do that, I'll send them their way. Or I might just say, I don't think we'll be a good fit right now, like try and do these things first, and then let's chat again where I can make more of a substantial difference. That is broadly my process. Do you have any questions about how I do my thing, or like, I'm figuring this out as I go, and I'm just trying to be more explicit about the consulting work that I do and how I help people. And I want to help more people. I want to scale this up. When I say scale it up, I don't mean, I just want to do it more often, right? I could theoretically do a client a day, or even 2 clients a day, right? It's just, we chat for an hour and a half, and I know my shit, and I have a body of work I can reference. I have a bunch of reading I've done over the years. I worked in software marketing for 5.5 years. I used to play in a band that I promoted pretty well. Like I have a good Twitter audience. My YouTube videos are doing all right. I know how to set things up, and I know how to do it without expending too many resources. I know how to do it in a way that is sustainable, I think. And if you think you might be interested, or you're curious, like, you can DM me on Twitter. That's the best way to reach me. You can leave a comment if you just have questions, but if you want to engage me, like, DM me on Twitter or email me. It's the same username at Gmail. And hope you guys are well. I'm gonna upload this one first. Done.